Hi there, I'm Adam Brown, a Senior Lecturer in Digital Media at Deakin University, and this is a brief video that outlines some key features of my teaching approach. My teaching of digital media revolves around multi-platform content, delivery and assessment using real-world social media platforms, and it's essentially the same approach that I use in any unit that I teach. It's all about learning by doing. I'm going to use a little bit of footage here that I've used many times before, which really encapsulates this key idea, and it's all thanks to Tiffany.
You have a wealth of user-friendly and intuitive applications available to you, often directly accessible from your smartphone. And the answer to almost every question can be found via a quick Google search or a YouTube demo video. One of Tiffany's daily rituals serves as a perfect illustration of this issue. Think about how you learned how to use Facebook. Did someone show you? Did you read a book about it? No. You learned by observing what other people were doing, by experimenting with what you had available, and just as importantly, as Tiffany is showing here, by repetition. And if you were having trouble with something, you probably Googled the answer or asked someone on Facebook. Keep Tiffany's lesson here in mind as you work through the unit. The answer is quite literally at your fingertips.
Network is something that you do, but it's also something that you create. The main learning environments or communities that are developed through my teaching are built through unit hashtags on Twitter. I also use platforms such as YouTube, WordPress, SoundCloud, Instagram, Periscope and others to complement this. The first thing that's really important for students to do is network. They should follow their tutor, myself and their peers. I've seen far too many students in the past only follow a small handful of people, and often most of those are not even in the unit. Twitter only works for you if you work for it. If you take the initiative in these ways, you'll soon find your network expanding beyond the unit, and may well include industry practitioners who can be immensely valuable contacts in future years. It's important to check the unit hashtag on a regular basis. This doesn't have to be multiple times a day, it doesn't even have to be daily. You'll find that with a little effort, you can cover a great deal of content in a short period of time. But most importantly, contribute to the unit hashtag in relevant and productive ways. You will only benefit from the online community if you're a part of that community. I've seen a lot of past students in digital media units start to create what might be called a personal professional brand, which will be immensely valuable for them in the future. I encourage people to think of everything they do in this regard, everything they do in building an online presence, as being part of their portfolio. A portfolio is rarely something that you carry around in a satchel or a folder now. People will Google you, and everything you do publicly online should be thought of as part of your potential portfolio. Employers want independent, responsible, and motivated people to work for them. I often talk about informal assessment in my teaching. Formal assessment is what gets you the marks, it's what gets you a credit point. But hopefully you don't just want a credit point. Most of the learning in a unit, most of the feedback that you get, most of the motivation that you get, and the confidence building comes from informal assessment. The extra tweets, the extra blogs, the extra videos, the extra media that you make and share is where the real value is. Technology and experience. You don't need much of either to do amazing things. Most of the footage I use in a lot of my videos is made with this little thing here. My teaching of digital media content creation is practical in nature. We want students to learn in a way that's hands-on. Please note that students attending seminars must bring their device or devices of preference. A laptop is ideal, a tablet is workable, and a smartphone can be very handy as well. Substantial parts of seminars are dedicated to hands-on work with online media. You don't want to be just a spectator watching from afar. Learning by doing with digital media can be intimidating, and you might have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Everyone has to do this. I have to do this myself all the time, but you won't regret it when you do it. That said, if you've ever got any questions or concerns, please feel free to get in touch with your tutor or myself. We're always here to help. Now, my last point relates to lifelong learning, but before we get to that, let's go to a commercial break.
Good afternoon and welcome to another Nappy Sand Door Challenge, where we put our product to the test through your clothing.
Actually, no, that's way too embarrassing. I still remember the days from year 10 through to year 12 in high school when my brother and I would avoid giving oral presentations for assessment by making very amateur movies. We would carry around the huge camera from the school library on our shoulder and then sit up all night with 2 VCRs, that's video cassette recorders for any young viewers who don't know, and edit some very scrappy footage together. We had a lot of fun doing this, but when I started making digital movies a little over 12 months ago, things had obviously changed immensely.
I'm not exaggerating when I say I didn't make a single edited video between the year 2000 when I was in year 12 and when I started making teaching videos in 2013. That's the very first time I went digital. I had no training and no professional development. I learnt by doing, and that's what I continue to do all the time. In the ever-changing world in which we live, lifelong learning is something that everyone needs to do, and that includes you. The people who claim to be experts or gurus online are usually those I'm most skeptical of. You'll get things wrong, just like I did making this video, but in doing so, you'll learn. And that's the whole point. Thanks very much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe for future videos and leave me a comment or question down below. And be sure to connect with me online. My main Twitter and Instagram accounts are Digital Zones, and you'll find plenty of other social media links in the description. Bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you online.